Hi, this is Amy Cooper with Rise, and we're here at the ACE conference in Las Vegas, Nevada. It is day one, and I'm here to interview Ken Tolson, U.S. President of Claims Solutions for Crawford Company. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
So tell us, how did you get started in insurance?
I was, believe it or not, taking a real estate class at a community college in central North Carolina, and I saw an ad for a property adjuster. And I answered it, and they took a chance on me, hired me, put me through a 4-week training session, and next thing you know, I'm a property adjuster, and the journey just started there. It turned into, I got multi-line trained and eventually made my way into management, and I've climbed the ranks ever since. It was 28 plus years ago, so.
Well, with that type of experience, I mean, what's the best career advice you've received?
Oh, you know, an early career, I would tell you to be willing to take some chances, go do things that may get you out of your comfort zone. You know, that's probably the biggest thing around taking risk that an early career person can do, is to really challenge themselves to get out of the box. And I've done that my whole career. I did that from an early age on. When I went into other lines of business, decided to get into management, and started managing a small team, then a bigger team, and a bigger team, and then I moved up to running the entire eastern region of the U.S. for Crawford Company, including the Caribbean and Puerto Rico, which I love doing. I get to meet people from so many parts of the world. It was a lot of fun. And then I've been, actually, some other cool things I did is I left the PNC side of the business and went to work for Broadspire for 3 years. And I ran their A&H division for 2 years, 2.5 years. Went back, ran our technology division for 3 years. So I have a circuitous path through Crawford Company, but I've been lucky because they've allowed me to do that too. There's lots of diverse opportunities there. It's a complicated organization, global organization, so it's been good to me.
So what could you tell a young leader or someone in their career that's looking to move up in their company? What advice could you give them?
Well, the key is really understanding the people in the organization that can help you, that will take the initiative to help and teach and mentor people. And every organization has them. I always tell people, you also learn from the people who aren't so helpful. You have to take your lessons everywhere you can get them, but at the same time, there are always people in an organization. We take great pride in connecting young, early career people to mentors, trying to get them the type of advice that they need to grow their careers and grow individually. And sometimes that means they leave the company too, but it's an industry that we support, not just the company itself.
That's great to hear that. You also have an Emerging Leaders program. Tell us about that.
So our Emerging Leaders program is it's about a 10-year-old program at this point. We take young, early career people we identify that kind of stand out from their peers, people we think have great potential to grow, and from all over the world, all 77 countries that we operate in, and we throw them together into a really intense 2-week session of prep and then team building or team project work. We see how they work together, we see how they perform, and then they have an output from that group to our senior executive staff, and that process alone really tells you a lot. It's a great evaluation platform for those people, but then most importantly, when they graduate from that program, they are our first line of defense for new opportunities that we bring out to the organization. We look at them first for early placement into key positions around the globe.
Oh, that's great. Tell us also, just are there similarities that you notice in types of employees that you're promoting?
Other than the obvious ones for the emerging leaders people, around people who work hard, have a great discipline, great enthusiasm for their job. I like to refer to them as athletes, people that we can literally take and drop into any kind of position, and they can adapt to it. They're smart, they're motivated, they work well with people, they communicate well, they have those core fundamental skills that really set them apart from their peers. And those are the people I would say that are the first line of defense in terms of who we want to promote first, but they find their ways in these emerging leader platforms, the Emerging Leaders Program, and then we also have another program with the Emory University in Atlanta where we do the same thing with little later stage career people, where we are building leadership skills with those people as well, and it's a whole leadership program built around taking them to that next level of leadership to be true division heads for us and taking that next step.
I bet that does a lot for your retention. Is there anything else that you're doing to retain really great employees?
You know, the best thing that we can do to retain great employees is to create opportunity for them. is when we can grow the corporation and grow the opportunity, as we grow the company, we grow the opportunity set for employees. And to have great engagement from employees, you've got to keep them moving as well. You've got to keep challenging them, keep taking them to new places, and giving them new opportunities. So part of my job is really developing my business and growing it for the U.S. And the Caribbean. And if I'm not growing, I'm not doing my job to create opportunity for those employees. That's probably the best thing that we do.
So you're involved a lot in the innovation space. So tell us a couple things that you're doing to innovate the industry.
So I always lead with this. I'm a geek at heart. I spent 3.5 years in the technology division. It's a passion of mine, but we listen to our clients. We listen to the pain points they're having. For instance, one of the biggest perils that carriers deal with in the U.S. is the escape of water peril, where water leaks. About 37% of all claims that are filed or have something to do with an escape of water from an appliance or a device in the home. So we're partnering with several people in the industry today to create a sensor network to be able to detect and early intervene in those claims to both reduce indemnity and reduce severity and frequency of those claims. So the objective is to overall lower the cost for the P&C industry. We know it's a pain point of theirs, but it's one of the cool things we're working on right now. And then we have active practices around robotic process automation. It allows us to get things done more quickly than true IT interface activities. And then we have an active practice around the Alexa tool, where people can interact with their policy, interact with their claim process through the Alexa Echo device in their home.
Very cool.
So it's just a few things.
Well, you're actually receiving an award here at ACE. Tell us about the award.
So yeah, we submitted an application that really kind of chronicled the journey I have been on for the past 10 plus years, where we've had issues around business process management, process automation, BI, Cognos and BI analytics practices we've built, but really trying to improve the claim lifecycle, accelerate the claim lifecycle, drive better outcomes for individuals, drive better claim process for our own adjusters, but also to really drive customer experience for the policyholder. And it's really around that whole ecosystem I've developed and been partnered with, but it's really a function of the people I've worked with. I've been fortunate enough to have great teams, great minds at Crawford Company have been very good to me to put me in a position to be able to take credit for some of this.
So tell us, outside the office, what do you like to do?
My one favorite thing in the world is to be somewhere away from my cell phone and on the side of a mountain hiking. So if I don't get to do that very often, I can get quite grumpy, but my favorite thing in the world is to actually be outdoors and hiking. I'm a big outdoor lover, and I like to ride a road bike, but my favorite thing is absolutely hiking first.
So is this your first time at the ACE conference? Or?
This is my first time at this conference, yes.
All right. What are you looking to get out of it?
Well, I have customers here. One thing that draws us to this is absolutely the client engagement here. But we always want to expand our network and get to meet with key customers of ours that are here, but to learn something and take something away from it. I always want to hear what what colleagues are doing, even my competitors that are here as well. I want to listen to them and know what's going on it, and to really just learn something. You never stop learning.
Well, let's go check out the rest of the conference.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much.
Yep, thank you.